Hello everyone and welcome to WordFleet. In this video, I want to take a moment to show you how to route your domain names to your WordFleet servers directly from your domain name registrar. Many users will already be familiar with this process, but for those that are new to WordPress sites, this will be useful information. By the way, in another video, I discuss how to do this routing using Cloudflare. We strongly recommend that you use that method for routing because of its added benefits, such as content caching and extra security. However, if you prefer direct routing, this is the video for you. Okay, so far we have two servers in our WordFleet account. As you can see here, I have a production server. This is where my live public sites will be hosted. And I have a development server right here. This is where I will host my testing sites. By the way, and I should have said this in the Cloudflare video, you don't actually need two servers to do this. You can host all of your sites on a single server as long as they can fit. Or you can host them over two, or you can host them over as many servers as you like. So what we would like to do now is to spin up some WordPress sites that are hosted on these servers. However, before we do that, we should ensure that our routing is properly set up. Now, by routing, what I mean is, like using a phone book to look up someone's name and find their contact telephone number, routing allows browsers to look up a website's domain name and contact the corresponding server where that website is hosted. By the way, the routing can actually be set up before or after you spin up your WordPress sites, but for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm doing it before. So the first step is to log into our domain name registrar account. As you can see, I'm using Google Domains, and here's the domain name I've already purchased, wordfleet-tutorials.com. Now bear in mind that this will look different for whichever domain name registrar you're using, but the process should be similar in all cases. And if you need a domain name registrar, we do recommend Google Domains because it's very easy to set up and use. So once you've logged into your domain name registrar account, you can find the DNS, the domain name system settings, right here. I'm already in, so I'm good to go. And what we want to do now is add some of these records. These records link domain names and subdomain names to IP addresses of servers. So the first name we would like to use is just this name directly, wordfleet-tutorials.com. This is known as the root domain, and to do that here in Google Domains, we simply need to leave the host name blank. Depending on your domain name registrar, you may have to enter an @ symbol or something similar, but for us, we can just leave it blank, as I said. Next, we have to choose the type. There's quite a few options here, but all we need is the default A type. Time to live can be just left as default. Finally, we need our server IP address. So to get that, we can just go back to our WordFleet account right here. And since wordfleet-tutorials.com is something I would like users to type in and get directly to the live public site, I'm going to host that on my production server. So here is the IP address right here. I can just click on that to copy. We can go back, paste that in, save it. And there we go. We have now added our first record. And what this means is users can type in wordfleet-tutorials.com and their browser will be linked to this server. But we also want users to be able to type in www.wordfleet-tutorials.com. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new record right here. This time we want users to be able to type in www.wordfleet-tutorials.com. We can select the type to be A again, and we can just simply use the same server as before because we want users to be able to type in either wordfleet-tutorials.com or www.wordfleet-tutorials.com and get to the exact same live production server. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And there we go. Now either of these domain names can be typed into a browser and they will both be linked to my live production server. However, we may also want to use some domain names for testing sites. So why don't we go ahead and enter a couple of those. Again, create a new record. In this case, we want users to be able to type in dev.wordfleet-tutorials.com and get to my development site. So again, we can just do type A. Now, the server address, we need to grab that since I have a different server for our development sites, our testing sites. So here is my development server. Again, here's the IP. Let's just click that to copy, go back, paste that in. And let's just quickly add another one while we're here. Let's do one for another type of testing site. How about staging.wordfleet-tutorials.com? Again, type A, and we can use the exact same development server. And we can just save both of those at the same time. And there we go. We now have all of the names we want to use set up and pointed to the correct servers. So at this point, if users type in any of these domain names, they should be pointed to the correct server. Although I should mention, and Google is mentioning it right here, it does take up to 24 hours for these names to propagate across the internet, so they may not work right away. In any case, we are now finished setting up our routing, and at this point we can go ahead and start spinning up WordPress sites on our servers. However, that is a topic I covered in another video, so for now I'm going to sign off. And again, as always, if you found this content useful, please do consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Thank you for using WordFleet, and I'll see you in the next video.